All right. Let's see. What was the best part about raising your two children?
Oh, they give you love in return for your love. Um, I can't imagine life without having children, but some people do. Um, it's just part of a way of life, I guess.
What do you remember about the birth of your grandchildren? How about your first grandchild, Hannah?
Oh, well, she was the first one, and I remember her running and hiding in the corner when she had to poop in her diaper, and I remember her having the cast on her hip and changing her diaper.
How about Leah? What do you remember about Leah? Or wasn't she as memorable as Hannah?
Well, she wasn't the first one,
Yeah.
but I don't remember much about Leah. She just sort of came and went. I didn't see that much of her.
Yeah. What about Garrett and Paige?
Well, see, I babysat them from Kutztown. I would go down and stay for the day or a couple days and babysit them while Kim worked out of the house. But I've been told that Richard left Garrett Fall when he was an infant.
That explains what's wrong with him, yeah.
What?
That explains what's wrong with him, yeah.
There's nothing the matter with Garrett. He's close to his father when that's good.
Your family name is Hull. Hull.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the meaning of that name at all?
It came from England.
Uh-huh.
No,
It's an
I
English
don't
name?
know.
When you were a child or a teenager, do you have any nicknames? What did people call you?
Did
you have any nicknames? What did people call you?
Speedy,
Speedy?
yes.
Why
Because
Speedy?
I drove fast.
Yeah.
And Cheryl was short for Shirley.
So you're not going to be able to tell any of your grandchildren not to drive fast since you drove fast.
No, well, I'm telling them not to drive fast, but there are so many other things. We didn't have handheld telephones or iPads or any of that when I was growing up, so we didn't have so many distractions.
Also, it was okay to drive fast as long as you have no distractions?
No.
How do you think that you are most like your mom?
What?
How do you think that you are most like your mom?
Oh, I'm strict.
Really?
I thought I was. Except when it came to you, I wasn't as strict.
That's right. And why is that?
I don't know, because I felt sorry for you, I guess.
Sorry for me? For what reason? Why would you feel sorry for me?
I don't know.
I always thought you guys weren't as strict with me because I knew what I was doing.
Well, to each his own.
You know. How do you think? How do you think your children are like you?
Well, they're strict with their own children. They bring discipline to their own family, and that's the way it should be. Otherwise, children don't learn.
All right. What do you think are your 3 best qualities?
Oh, I don't have any good qualities.
Yes, you do.
Cleaning, and I got that from my dad's sister. She didn't have any children, and she was always cleaning. She used to sweep the lane where the car and the tractors used to go with a broom. And she swept the walk out to the barn. I don't know. They say Uncle Junior's Jenny inherited my traits, but she doesn't have any children, so I don't know.
If you could have 3 wishes right now, what would they be?
Well, probably not to worry about the terrorists coming to America.
Yeah.
Living a clean life until my death, which I don't know when that'll be. And I want the best for my children and grandchildren.
All right. So if you won $1 million tomorrow, what would you do with the money?
I'd give it to the children and grandchildren. I might give Homewood some of the... I probably would give to charity some of my winnings.
Yeah. What kind of things bring you the most pleasure right now?
What?
What kind of things bring you the most pleasure right now? What makes you happiest?
Sleep and probably seeing the children and grandchildren fulfill their dreams. Don't get too technical on me.
And besides ISIS, what frightens you the most right now?
That they'll come to America and behead us as Christians.
That's your biggest fear right now?
Well, today it is.
Is a rogue terrorist group in the Middle East whenever you're sitting here in Haddonfield, New Jersey?
Well, they say they may be here.
Yeah.
And I do not want Hannah going to Australia, but I won't tell her that for the same reason.
She's gonna see this someday.
She'll have to make up her own mind.
What is one thing that you always wanted but never got?
Money.
You always wanted money.
Yeah.
You were money hungry. Well, you married the wrong guy then again. Where is one place in the world that you would like to see but you never got to?
Probably the Grand Canyon.
You never got to the Grand Canyon?
No.
I'm amazed that on our vacation out west when we drove, we never went to the Grand Canyon. You know?
I probably will never see it.
It's just a big hole in the ground.
Yeah. Wonder where your neighbors are going.
Who cares? Do you have any hobbies or special interests right now?
No.
No? If you were to look in a mirror right now, what do you see?
Old age.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get any younger. And I don't know. Death is knocking at my door.
Well, this is going to be kind of generalities, this question, but is there something in particular that you remember about your 20s?
About my what?
Your 20s. When you were in your 20s.
Well, I got married and I was working.
All right, how about your 30s?
Working. 40s and 50s working. 60s working. We adopted you and I had Mark in between, or Richard.
Well, if you could go back to any age, if you could turn the clock back and go back to a specific age, what age would that be and why?
Well, probably to the 30s, because you're married by then and you probably have children by then, and you feel you're most vibrant at that age.
Right?
40s are downhill from then on.
Well, thank you for that information because I'm past my 40s. I appreciate it. How do you feel? How do you feel about growing old?
Well, you have to accept it because it's a fact of life that you're going to age.
But how do you feel about it?
I don't like it,
Yeah.
but you have to accept it. It's part of the lifespan.
Well, what's the hardest part about growing old?
Aches and pains.
Yeah.
The golden years aren't that golden.
Yeah.
Everybody has. I don't know of anybody that lives where we do that doesn't have aches or pains
All
of
right.
some kind.
But on the other side, what's the best thing about growing old?
The best thing about life?
Growing old.
Oh. Well, watching the accomplishments of your grandchildren and your children.
Is there anything in your life that you wish you would have done differently?
No, I don't think.
No?
Oh,
I could probably name 100 things right now that I wish I would have done differently.
well, I'd have to think about that.
Do you have one most cherished memory?
One cherished memory? Oh. I'd probably getting married.
whole wedding ceremony and everything?
What?
You talking your wedding and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the most difficult thing that has ever happened to you in your life?
Well, Dad having his heart bypass
Yeah.
probably is a difficult.
And how'd you deal with that?
Well, I didn't. He was young at the time, and I remember one of the professors at the university at Kutztown called me and said it was like a piece of cake, so I shouldn't worry about it. So I didn't worry about it after that. He took 6 months off to recuperate, and that was it.
Is there anything that you know now that you wished you would have known when you were young?
No, I don't think so.
Is there anything that you've thrown away or gotten rid of in your life that you wish you hadn't?
No.
Have you held on to anything for most of your life that's important to you?
Well, I've held on to some of the I couldn't call them valuables, but some of the treasures of the family heirlooms. I've kept those, and I've given some to Jenny, hoping she saves them.
What would you like to be remembered for?
You seem so final.
Well, no, I'm just saying. What would you like to be remembered for? You know,
Being kind and
you don't have to be dead, but if someone that hasn't seen you in 30 years, all of a sudden thought about Shirley Hershberger, they would say, "Boy, that's Shirley Hershberger. She."
Being generous and kind, yes, to people.
Well, that's nice. You know, that won't happen, but you know. All right, here's an interesting one. If you could write a message to your grandchildren, put it in a time capsule, and it's going to be read 20 years from now. All right? What would you say to Hannah if she opened it 20 years from now? Hannah would be almost 40 years old.
I hope you're enjoying your children and husband. And, well, let's see. She might have grandchildren at 40. I hope you're attending church and are a Christian. Same goes for Leah. And Paige and Garrett.
That's what you would say.
Yeah.
So they open up the note, and here's the final thing they see from their grandmother, and it says, "I hope you're married with kids and you're a Christian. Bye."
Yeah.
All right. If you could have, if you were told like a meteor is coming and going to hit the Earth tomorrow morning, it's going to destroy everything, not just you, but everything's going to be gone. So tonight you could have one last meal, any meal you want to eat. What would your meal be? This would be the last big meal you have. You could have anything you want.
Cherry pie for dessert. I'd I'd have to think about that.
We don't have time. The meteor is coming, and you got to make your reservation at the restaurant you want to go to.
I don't know. Probably soup and a sandwich.
Your last meal would be a soup, and it doesn't matter how it affects your intestines or whether you have bad poops or anything. You can have anything you want. And your last meal on this planet is going to be soup and a sandwich?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yes, I'm not very hungry.
Well, let's say you were starving.
Probably, I don't know. Fish.
All right. So we'll just get you some Schuylkill River fish. Throw it on a plate. Say, there's your last meal.
Yeah. I didn't think about my last meal.
Oh, you're not supposed to think about it. It should just be what comes right from your heart. Like your wonderful message to your grandchildren. Enjoy your kids and be a Christian. See you later. My God, my letter to my grandchildren would be about 10 pages long.
Be happy.
All right, if you could listen to one last song,
Oh, gee.
what would that be?
See, this is more in your category.
Everybody has a favorite song.
I've never thought about it.
All right, so you hate food and you hate music. We've established that, right?
Yeah. Are we about done with this interview?
Yes, one final question.
What's that?
Complete this sentence as if people were telling someone about you that didn't know you. And they would say, she was...
A good and kind person.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you for being part of my life question exercise, Mom.
Are you ready for Jim?
I love you.
Are you ready for Dad to finish his?